Hey everybody, and welcome back to more Let's Play Super Metroid! Not Super Mario Galaxy. That was 2 LPs ago. Why am I still saying that? We're gonna get started off by going through the rest of Toyin. In the last episode, we were attacked by a giant, Metroid, which had completely destroyed a, new enemy that we couldn't even touch, as well as other enemies we've seen, and an entire Chozo, showing that it's pretty darn powerful. And once it attacked us, it could have totally killed us, and we had nothing to do, because we couldn't even shake it off. Nothing would work against it. But it actually, pitied us, and left us with 1 health. Acting kinda confused, like it knew us before. And then we refilled our health, and now it's time to enter a familiar area, if you've played the first game. Yep, this is a repeat of the first area, well, not the final area of the original game, with the guns and the killer spaghettios. Pretty much you just want to stand in front of these, Zebite things and shoot them with missiles, and we hit Mother Brain herself. Pretty much just shoot missiles at the glass until it breaks, then continue shooting missiles at her. You can pretty much ignore all the deadly spaghettios and turrets because they don't really matter. Oh no, all we're doing is just shooting her and shooting missiles at her. Kind of anticlimactic of the boss fight, really. And with that, it's done. That's the final boss for you guys. It's kind of lame for such a good game, but that's the end of the LP. I figure it went pretty well. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Oh god, we're not done yet. Yeah, you could probably couldn't see that coming. But here we got Mother Brain, Popper, and when I first played this game, I was actually really surprised at this, because all I had known about Mother Brain before was from the original Metroid, where she just sat there. But now it turns out she actually has a body and an eye and teeth. And she's scary, and the music is just so perfectly suited to the situation. So pretty much, she has a few attacks. She can shoot those mouth blue spaghettios at you. A bomb that will explode on the floor. Also eye lasers that look like the space pirates. Eye lasers. And try not to miss these as many super missiles as we missed in the Ridley fight. That'd be nice. But this Mother Brain seems certainly more powerful than the Mother Brain we saw before. Oh, I ran out of regular super missiles. After you do enough damage, your body will start shooting out these hand lasers. And do not take those lightly, because each one will do an entire E-tank of health, 100 health. So, kinda scary. Still, the screw attack will be a friend, as it at least goes through her eye lasers, but not these hand beam things. And once she starts charging up this mind laser beam thing, you can pretty much just stop, because there's really nothing you can do. She drains all your missiles and health. You can kind of mash to get out of it, and maybe charge up another shot to shoot at her. But again, she's just gonna do another mind beam and push us against the wall again. So it seems like we're in a pretty futile situation. We can't really do anything here. She's completely powerful. In fact, I can't even get up now, because this is all scripted, by the way, but she's just whittling down our health. It seems like we can't really do anything. We can't. We're done. We can't do anything here. We only have 51 health. And now she charges up the final mind beam. See you guys. Just kidding! Giant Metroid out of nowhere. And this giant Metroid is actually attacking the thing that's supposed to be controlling it. And the leader of the space pirates. So that giant Metroid is actually good. It's actually helping us. It's actually doing the right thing. defeating Mother Brain. And so, Mother Brain has her life sucked out of her. And as an added bonus, the Metroid will kind of fly around us and come down and give us all that health. So with that, we've defeated Mother Brain. But wait, the music's still playing, and there's purple smoke coming out of her mouth, and yeah, she's not dead yet. And what's worse, she's actually attacking the Metroid with her eye, mouth, blue spaghetti stuff. No, he's getting weak, he's turning yellow. Don't worry, he'll just suck out the health again. It's no big deal. No! With that, Mother Brain killed that giant Metroid, which, if you haven't pieced together tonight, yet, was the baby Metroid, which is why it noticed that you were Samus, and it remembered that you kind of acted like a mother to it. Some sort of, like, it hatched before you, it's like, are you my mommy? You know, that classic thing. And then after all that, Mother Brain just comes in here and killed it. So I'm just like, screw you, Mother Brain. So the remains of the Metroid fell onto us, and combined with our beams to form this rainbow beam, which is the Hyper Beam. It can't be charged, it just infinitely fires on a loop like this. But it can pretty much destroy anything, and as you saw, that completely decimated Mother Brain. But now we gotta escape, because Mother Brain's a cheapskate, and likes to blow up zibbies when she loses. For some reason. So now we just gotta go through this entire area in 3 minutes. Some places kind of act like a maze to it, like this, for example. It's a little bit mazy. But, eventually, a lot of paths actually do lead to the exit, just only a few don't, and they usually loop back on themselves. So just kind of, eventually you find your way through. It's not that bad. And really, all you want to do is kind of screw attack and either kill or avoid the space pirates, as killing them would be a waste of time. And if they really get in your way, the Hyper Beam will take them out in one shot anyway. So it's not really that bad. I wish we could have used the Hyper Beam in other areas of the game. I think that'd be really funny to watch some of the bosses die instantly, pretty much. Because this beam is so powerful, it does so much damage. So you open up this door, head through here, and check it out. We're actually back here at the original escape chamber that we saw many, many times in our adventure. So you guys kind of want to space jump slash wall jump up the side here to get out. You notice all the explosions don't actually do anything to you. And then we gotta make it back to our ship. Because in the original Metroid, that would have been the end, going through that door, which is actually an elevator in the first game. But no such luck this time around. We had to actually go up and through Criteria. And you notice that all the doors were gray. Well, almost all the old doors. And there's actually one door that's still open here, and it still serves a purpose. Because if we go back to where we fought Torzo, the Morph Ball Bomb Chozo statue, we actually find our wall jumping and shine smoking friends. Go! Be free! So you can save them by destroying the wall with your Hyper Beam, because they helped you, so it's time for you to return the favor. So now, with everything here solved out, let's get out of here! Because the entire planet's gonna explode in 50 seconds. And with that, that's the end of Super Metroid. That's the last button input in the entire game. And so, we're out of here. With that, you get this really cool and good-looking for 16-bit SNES graphics of Zebes. And then It cracks and explodes in an amazing explosion that kind of looks like a planet with rings around it. But obviously, Samus's ship comes out of the rubble. And if you look off to the right of the planet, you should see a shooting star coming away from it. That's actually our friends that we saved. If you don't save them, that won't be there. And you kill those friends, you heartless jerk. And we got a clear time of 2:54. I was actually worried about that clear time, because it doesn't need to be under 3 hours for the best ending. So I said, I got under it by 6 minutes. So, now that the credits are rolling, I feel it's a good time to finally bring up what I've been dreading talking about for a while, Metroid Other M. If you know the timeline of the series, you know that Other M takes place directly after this game. And a lot of the events in this game are referenced in that game. Because Samus in Metroid Other M is upset and obsessing over the baby Metroid. Because it flashes back to the final fight that we just had with Mother Brain and it killing the baby Metroid. And the game really tries to say that Samus really cared for this baby Metroid and lost it like it was a baby. To which I say, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. Because in the beginning of this game, she was going to give this baby Metroid over to science for it to work on it, to do experiments on it. Would you give a child over to some scientist if they want to do some experiments on some kids? Of course you wouldn't. Because it's a kid. But Samus doesn't see it as a kid, she sees it as a monster. Because it was a galactic epidemic. The space pirates were using them for evil. They were creatures that could not be controlled. She wasn't keeping it like as a pet. The baby Metroid thought that Samus was its mother. That doesn't mean Samus thought that she was the mother of the baby Metroid. That doesn't make any sense. And the entire game is based around this, and Samus is an emotional wreck because of it. And because of this, her emotional, her emotional upsetness even causes her to freak out at the sight of Ridley. Not Meta Ridley, or Mega Ridley, or any special form of Ridley, just regular old Ridley. She completely freezes out. And to put this in perspective, Other M's near the end of the series. She killed Ridley for the first time in the original Metroid, then in Metroid Prime as Meta Ridley, then hurt him again as Meta Ridley in Metroid Prime 3, and again in Metroid Prime 3 as Omega Ridley, then again in this game, Super Metroid. So she already killed him like 4 or 5 times. Why is she freaking out over him in this game? Sometimes it's so stupid. Also, yeah, we got the best ending, so Samus takes off an entire suit and is left in whatever you want to call that. And to finish it off, our rate for collecting items was 100%. So as I said, we did 100% the game. But I'm not done ranting about Other M. Its plot just ruins the Metroid series and all it's set up, because when Metroid the original came out, Nintendo did this amazing thing. Throughout the entire game, people were thinking, oh, I'm controlling this robot, or man in robot suit, or something like that. But then you get to the end and no, she's a girl. So Nintendo established that Samus was a girl and made the first female protagonist in the game. Then Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Fusion, Prime, and the Prime series all kind of established her as this awesome, pardon my French, but badass space bounty hunter that could take down anything by herself, because she didn't need anyone. Throughout all these missions, it was her against the entire planet. With maybe the exception of Prime 3, where she got some help from the Federation. But for the most part, she really did everything by herself. And then Other M comes around and asserts that Samus needs to be surrounded by a team of 6 guys to do her work, or else she's gonna start crying and having an emotional outbreak. And the only other woman in the game is found at the end of the game, cowering in fear. And she always has to listen to Adam Malkovich as her male commanding officer. And it just really shows how Japan's ideals of females really differ from America's. Because the Prime series from Retro Studios, which is an American company, they obviously showed her as a awesome badass. But Team Ninja and the other M just do not show her in that badassery. Not at all. And, I mean, it is Team Ninja. They did come up with jiggle physics. The, funny term for the physics used in the infamous Dead or Alive beach volleyball game. Which, why did Nintendo even give the best female protagonist in gaming over to the people who made Dead or Alive beach volleyball? It doesn't make any sense to me. And it also doesn't make any sense why Samus has to listen to Adam. Because, yeah, I get it, she's on a Federation mission, so she can't be going all willy-nilly with all her weapons, but as proven in Metroid Prime 3, the Federation was alright with her. She was like, they were like, hey, you can use whatever you need to do to get jobs done. Because, we trust you. I feel like that part of Other M really should take place at the beginning of the series, before the original Metroid, when she had quit the Federation police, so obviously they'd be a little bit mistrusting of her. But this is throughout the most of the series. So anyway, it doesn't really make any sense that she has to listen to Adam being like, oh no, you can't use the Varia suit in superheated North Air area. That doesn't make any sense. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll listen to you because you're a man, so obviously you know what's best for me. It just annoys me how progress it is. And then she can't use power bombs whenever she wants, she can't use super missiles, it's just so many things that would not be a problem in the game were just ruined. And the game really ruined Metroid Fusion, I feel. It completely ruined that game, because for two reasons. The first reason is Adam's sacrifice. Because in Metroid Fusion, it's found out that the computer in Metroid Fusion, named Adam, is actually the essence of Adam Malkovich, who was somehow turned into a computer program somehow. I don't really know how they do that. Some sort of sci-fi magic. But that's not important. What is important is that it's turned out that he sacrificed his life to save Samus in the past. And so Other M felt it was going to reveal what this sacrifice was. Because obviously Adam's alive at the beginning of the game. So yeah, there are spoilers in this. Adam dies. We kinda already knew that going in. But a sacrifice in the game is just, it doesn't even make any sense. Because what happens is they find this room of Metroids that are resistant to the ice beam. So Adam feels the need to blow up this section of the bottle ship, which is obviously reference to motherhood as about as subtle as, I don't know, it's just not subtle at all. Just like the baby's call distress signal. Yeah, we get it. It's motherhood. But anyway, he goes into this room full of the freeze-resistant Metroids, and he blows it up from the inside, obviously taking his life in the process. Now, we're going to ignore the schematics of why you couldn't blow it up from the outside, or cut it off, or just lock down that area, or something else besides destroying it completely. Ignoring all of that, the sacrifice didn't even matter, because for the rest of the game, there's still Metroids in the game. Sure, they aren't freeze-resistant, but it's still kind of a problem. And the game acts like the ice beam is the only thing that kills Metroids. That's not true. Prime established that they can be killed by other things, like power bombs. So I really don't think that the freeze-resistant Metroids were that much of a problem that he had to take his life in such a lame way. Plus, to make matters worse, the Federation, at the end of the game, completely destroys the ship anyway. So I don't know why they could have been like, oh hey, Federation. Earlier in the game, this ship is full of ZB things that were recreated by these scientists in your committee because they were completely insane. And they wanted to recreate space pirates and ZB's, creatures for some reason, because that seems like a good idea. Let's recreate all these hostile creatures. So if we could just blow up the ship now, that'd be great. But no, they don't do that. For some reason. Or why couldn't they be like, hey Federation, there's this area down here. They got Metroids. Don't go in there and just blow up the ship. But no, whatever. I don't know. The story just doesn't make any sense, and it ruins the plot of the entire series, Fusion in specific. Because there's another reason that it ruined Fusion, is that throughout the one of the premises of the game is that the bottle ship has sort of a, they don't really know what's going on in the bottle ship, because like it was sort of a mystery, and then it was attacked, and then it was blown up, and they're like trying to figure out why it was blown up, and it turns out that, you know, they're all Z-Beast monsters, and those kind of destroyed the ship. So Samus finds out that the science crew on the bottle ship was creating, what I mean, say, Z-Beast monsters, including Metroids. And so there's like this huge shock of, why is the Federation recreating Metroids? But the problem is, the realization that the Federation was recreating Metroid was supposed to be found in Metroid Fusion. Because that's when she was supposed to find out that the Federation was recreating Metroids. But since she already found out in Other M that they were, the shock in Metroid Fusion doesn't make any sense in the timeline. And it just ruins Fusion for so many reasons. And the timeline is just messed up. I wish they would just make the game non-canon and move on with the series. I will not be happy until they make the next Metroid game and it fixes everything. Or at least is good and makes sense in the series. Let Retro Studios make it again, please. But as a game, Other M's not that bad. I mean, it sure doesn't have any new like power-ups or equipment, because it's pretty much just Super Metroid stuff. But the boss fights at least look cool. The playstyle works for 2D, well not 2D, first person to third person perspective. And as a game, it's alright. If it had a better plot that didn't have anything to do with Metroid, I could actually see it being a pretty good game. But since it did, I cannot forgive it. And Team Ninja should really just be making cinematics. Like, they kind of follow the same route that the Final Fantasy crew did. Because their game is now, like, 90% cinematics and 10% walking down corridors from cutscene to cutscene. Because in Metroid Other M, the cutscenes and battles look really good. But that's not what the game's about. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on Other M and why it's a terrible game that's ruined the Metroid series. That's it for the Super Metroid LP. I will see you in a couple of weeks for my next project. I don't even know if I know what that is yet. But, until next time, see you guys then.